Have you ever heard the term jobber parts and wondered what on earth it meant? Maybe you're a seasoned mechanic, an aspiring DIY enthusiast, or just someone who's curious about the automotive world. Whatever your background, if you've ever found yourself scratching your head over this particular piece of jargon, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the world of jobber parts. What they are, why they exist, and what you need to know about them. For a long time, the automotive aftermarket was a bit of a Wild West. When your car needed a new part, you typically went to the dealership. These were original equipment manufacturer or OEM parts, made by the same company that supplied the parts to the car manufacturer when your vehicle was first built. They were, and still largely are, considered the gold standard for quality and fit. You knew you were getting a part designed specifically for your car, often with a warranty to match. But there was a catch, and often a significant one: the price. OEM parts could be, and often still are, incredibly expensive. This is where the aftermarket began to truly flourish, offering alternatives that aimed to provide similar functionality without the hefty price tag. Within this burgeoning aftermarket, a variety of terms emerged to categorize different types of parts, and jobber parts is one of the more historical and, frankly, sometimes misunderstood. So what exactly are jobber parts? In the simplest terms, jobber parts are aftermarket automotive replacement parts that are not manufactured by the original equipment manufacturer, OEM. They are produced by independent companies and sold through a variety of channels, including auto parts stores, independent repair shops, and online retailers. The term jobber itself originates from a time when parts were sold in smaller quantities, or jobs, to local repair shops or individuals. These were often sold by a jobber, or a wholesaler who bought in bulk and sold on to smaller businesses or individuals. Now, it's crucial to understand that the term jobber parts doesn't inherently imply a specific level of quality, good or bad. This is where a lot of the confusion and, at times, apprehension comes from. In the early days, some jobber parts might have been perceived as lower quality, simply because they weren't OEM. However, the aftermarket has evolved dramatically. Today, many jobber parts are manufactured to very high standards, often meeting or exceeding OEM specifications. They can be just as durable, reliable, and perform just as well as their OEM counterparts. The reason for their existence is primarily economic. By not having to adhere to the stringent and often proprietary manufacturing processes of an OEM, jobber part manufacturers can often produce parts at a lower cost. This cost saving is then passed on to the consumer, making repairs more affordable. For many people, particularly those with older vehicles or those on a tighter budget, jobber parts offer a viable and cost-effective solution for keeping their vehicles on the road. Let's break down some of the key characteristics and considerations when it comes to jobber parts. Variety and availability. One of the biggest advantages of jobber parts is their sheer availability and variety. The aftermarket is vast, and you can find jobber alternatives for almost any part imaginable, from brake pads and filters to alternators and water pumps. This wide availability means you're less likely to be stuck waiting for a specific OEM part, which can sometimes have longer lead times. Price point. As mentioned, price is a major driver for the popularity of jobber parts. You can often find a jobber part for significantly less than the OEM equivalent. This can translate to substantial savings on repairs, especially for major components. Quality range. This is perhaps the most important point to understand. While many jobber parts are high quality, it's also true that there's a wider range of quality within the aftermarket compared to OEM parts. Some jobber manufacturers specialize in premium, high-performance parts, while others might focus on producing more budget-friendly options. It's up to the consumer or the mechanic to do their due diligence. This often involves researching brands, reading reviews, and understanding warranties. Branding. Unlike OEM parts which carry the vehicle manufacturer's brand, jobber parts are sold under various independent brands. Some of these brands are well-known and reputable in the aftermarket, having built a strong reputation for quality over many years. Others might be less familiar. Warranty. Warranties on jobber parts can vary significantly. Some reputable jobber manufacturers offer warranties that are comparable to, or even better than, OEM warranties. Others might have shorter or more limited warranties. Always check the warranty information before purchasing a jobber part. Fitment. Generally, reputable jobber parts are designed to be direct replacements for OEM parts, meaning they should fit and function correctly without significant modifications. However, occasionally minor fitment issues can occur, though this is becoming less common with advancements in manufacturing and quality control. So, how do you navigate the world of jobber parts and make informed decisions? Research is key. Before buying any part, whether OEM or aftermarket, do your research. Look up reviews for specific jobber brands. Talk to trusted mechanics. Online forums and communities can also be great resources for gathering information and recommendations. Consider the application. For certain critical components, like steering or braking systems, some people prefer to stick with OEM parts for peace of mind, especially if they are concerned about the highest level of safety and performance. However, for many common wear and tear items, a good quality jobber part is perfectly acceptable and often indistinguishable in performance. Balance price and quality. The goal isn't always to find the cheapest part. It's about finding the best balance of price and quality for your specific needs and budget. A slightly more expensive jobber part from a reputable brand might save you money in the long run by being more durable and reliable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.